evidence of UFOs.
Back in May 2008, the British Ministry of Defence began declassifying its archive of UFO files and started releasing them to the public. Being a Christian, I was intrigued by this and had a read through some of these files. I was saddened by what I read. Numerous letters from the public revealed people who were genuinely scared by UFO visitations and aliens they had seen. I felt sorry for them because I knew they had been deceived. They weren't seeing aliens or UFOs. It was all simply demons. A common belief among many fundamentalist Christians is that the UFO phenomenon is a demonic deception by Satan. It was a new tactic to draw people away from the truth of the Bible and have them deceived by belief in aliens and evolution. Anything to draw people away from belief in God. These aliens would constantly visit people at night, hiding in the darkness, performing invasive tests, causing memory loss, and other unfriendly antics. The testimonies of those visited were many times very similar to testimonies of demonic visitation that were more common in previous years, such as a succubus demon invading someone while they were asleep. There were even a couple UFO stories where those visited actually smelled sulfur, a sure sign of demonic presence. Satan had now upped his game to suit the changing beliefs of the 20th century. Some Christians also believe it is plausible that the UFO phenomenon will be blamed when the rapture happens.
Jerry, how can you make fun of this?
Moses and Elijah walking out of the Bible into Jerusalem? Oh, come on.
It's almost as silly as millions of Christians just disappearing right off the face of the earth.
There's an explanation for that.
That's right. I believe it's found in Matthew.
I believe it's found in yesterday's newspaper. UFOs.
The problem is once again a lack of evidence. For both demon and alien visitations, the proof is severely lacking. There are a lot of stories and personal experiences, but never any hard evidence. Even if we discount the demon theory, why do aliens have a habit of visiting us at night, showing themselves to one or two people at most, and are gone in a flash? Why do they come 100,000 light years just to do an anal probe? Can you imagine NASA organizing a mission like this? So how do you reconcile Christianity and aliens? Well, it's not easy. In the creation account, the only intelligent beings created were Adam and Eve on planet Earth. Mankind disobeys God, so 4,000 years later, God finally sends Jesus to reconcile man to God. Paul writes, "The scriptures tell us, the first man, Adam, became a living person. But the last Adam, that is Christ, is a life-giving spirit." If alien life forms exist, then Jesus had nothing to do with them. He was sent specifically to fix an earthly problem started by Adam. This also shows the absurdity of a Christian that believes in the evolution of man. If they throw out the creation account as simply a parable or myth, then they would have to reject Christ as well. Not only does Paul believe that Adam was a real person, but Jesus also said, "Have you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female?" Both Paul and Jesus confirm their belief in a created man. Oh, and if God and the evolution of man are compatible, at what point in the timeline did man evolve an eternal soul? Just throwing that one out there. So what if intelligent alien life is discovered? When I was a Christian, I resolved that there were no intelligent alien life forms. I just could not reconcile aliens with the God of the Bible. I eventually admitted to myself that if aliens were ever discovered, then I would have to seriously reconsider the Bible. But strictly speaking, I have to admit that there is no specific verse that contradicts aliens. There are a number of scriptures to show that humanity is God's focus and priority, and that aliens don't quite fit the theology. However, Christians have had to adapt their beliefs before. Take, for instance, the change in belief that the sun does not revolve around the earth, but the earth revolves around the sun. This theory upset the church for many years because, theologically, it made sense that Earth should be at the center of the universe, since we were God's beloved creation. A few hundred years later, and confronted with scientific fact, Christians now have no problem with Earth revolving around the sun. I can also imagine similar disbelief among Christians when dinosaurs were first pieced together by archaeologists. Why didn't God save them on the ark? Or if they were on the ark, why don't we see them today? But 100 years later, and most Christians will happily tell you that there's no contradiction. Who knows, if we find out aliens exist, maybe Christians will think God sent a begotten Son to every single planet with alien life. Or maybe we're just all part of one big experiment by God to see which life form ends up populating hell the most. Do I believe aliens are visiting us today? No. This popular slogan always made me laugh because it summed up the situation perfectly. Wanting to believe something doesn't make it real. It just contributes to the delusion, which is why we have 60 years of greys, saucers, and anal probes. Yet still no valid evidence. Thanks for watching. Oh wait, we're just going to cross live to NASA.
So with the technological advances we've made in recent years, we will actually reach planet Kepler 22b in only 20 years. The trip back will only take 19 years due to flying in the jet stream, of course.
That will be old men by then.
Yes, we will. But it will be worth it. This is actually a very important mission we're running.
Just what exactly is the goal of the mission, sir?
I'm glad you asked. On this NASA mission, we will be performing an anal probe on an alien life form. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
These are the alien life forms detected on the planet 2 years ago, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Will you be performing a secondary anal probe?
No. No, I don't think so. Just the one. Yes, this gentleman here.
Will you be collecting geological specimens and data, or surveying life form settlements?
Not on this trip. Due to the purpose of this mission, the rocket will not actually contain scientific equipment, so scientific research will not be conducted. Yes.
Will you be making first contact?
No, we don't see that as a priority at this stage. Yes. Are there concerns that the aliens may actually detect your presence and compromise the mission? No. We will be conducting the anal probe at night, so our presence will remain undetected. Yes, sir.
What is Dr. Frito's role in this mission?
Dr. Frito will be performing the actual anal probe itself. For him, this mission is personal.
Personal, sir?
Yeah. So like 10 years ago, these aliens gave me an anal probe, and I've been like waiting all this time to do an anal probe back to them. Like, see how you like it, know what I mean? Yeah!